gotta talk to you. I gotta show you something.
And every sacrifice will be worthwhile.
Are you waving a flag at me?
There's something inside of Michael.
Next time I catch you in a place like that again, I'll kill you.
From the fiery depths of the earth comes a prehistoric mastodon of destruction.
You can't suppress ideas, Mr. Killer, just because you don't like them.
Hey guys, Everdudgeon 138 here. I'm going to be doing my next installment for Night Owl Reviews. Thank you so much for all the constructive criticism and feedback I got on my last video. Like in regards to the intro being too long, it definitely was. So I definitely will be shortening that and trying and tightening that up. I just kind of did that on the fly, but I appreciate everybody's feedback. So today I want to talk about something that is kind of it's something I'm very passionate about, but it's also kind of a sticking point for a lot of collectors and a lot of consumers. And that is something like a title being released by multiple labels. So you'll have a title that's released in North America, and the same title is also released in the UK, and they are given completely different treatments in terms of the amount of features, in terms of the packaging, and I thought I would lead by example here. So Mario Bava is one of my all-time favorite directors. Absolutely love him. I think he is the master of Italian horror. I definitely prefer his work over Argento or anybody else. And here is Hatchet for the Honeymoon, one of his films. This is by Kino Lorber. And the features include an audio commentary by Tim Lucas, author of Mario Bava, All the Colors of the Dark, an original theatrical trailer, and mastered in HD from the 35mm negative. And it also has some trailers from other Bava films as well. Pretty good disc. I mean, there's really nothing special about the case. There's no slip cover or anything like that. Here is the 88 films release. As you can see, it's quite a bit bigger. Features include rigid slipcase with brand new artwork by Colin Murdoch, 40-page perfect bound book featuring new writing on the film by Barry Forshaw, Andrew Graves, and Tim Murray, double-sided fold-out poster, remastered HD transfer from the 35mm internegative with additional cleanup performed by 88 Films, high-definition Blu-ray, 1080p presentation of the film, 2.0 dual mono English soundtrack, English subtitles, audio commentary by Troy Howarth and Nathaniel Thompson, Meet the Bavas, an interview with renowned director Lamberto Bava, Working with the Master, an interview with assistant cameraman Gianna Lorenzo Battaglia, I believe I'm pronouncing that correctly, I apologize if I'm not, Hatchet for Dagmar, an interview with Dagmar Lassender, My Dying Bride, an interview with Dr. Marcus Stinglinger, original trailer, and reversible sleeve. As you guys know, I absolutely love booklets. So important. At least to me. So why is that? Why is there such a huge margin of difference in regards to the amount of features put into something like this? In comparing them, it's kind of night and day. I mean, you don't get the Tim Lucas commentary on the Hatchet for the Honeymoon 88 Films release, but you also don't get all the special features and the booklet and everything like that on the Kino release. Why is that? I firmly believe it's because certain labels cater to a certain market. And I don't mean that in regards to a UK, US label, like market type thing. I mean in terms of a consumer. Even I was discussing this on Facebook, how some people were kind of really championing other Mario Bava films, like say Black Sabbath, for example, on Kino releases of that, and they were saying that it's the best releases of those films ever. And I was like, well, have you not seen the Arrow releases? I mean, the Kino release has the North American cut of Black Sabbath on one release, and the Italian cut on another release. So it's on two different copies of the film, whereas the Arrow version has everything compiled onto one release. Let's see if I can. Yeah, it's up there. Oh, I'm not going to grab it. It's too far. But and it also includes a third film, I Vampiri, as well as a slew of features and booklet and everything like that. So it's odd that people are really championing companies like Kino or Scream Factory. And they are great labels. Don't get me wrong. Some of the titles that they release, like Curse the Undead, I would never think in a million years those films would get a proper release. And so I really thank them for doing that. But in terms of the presentation and the packaging and the amount of features, I don't know. They are, especially Scream Factory, I would say they're catering more towards the general consumer. They're not catering to people, like, they're catering towards people who, they don't care about the audio commentaries, they don't care about the trailers, they don't want to know about the making of. It's of no interest to them. They just want something for $15 that they'll grab, probably watch it once, throw it out, or put it on the shelf, and that's it. And these labels know this. And it kind of reflects in the kind of some of their quality control. For example, my favorite vampire film of all time, Return of the Vampire. Bela Lugosi. Problem is, on the back, that's not from Return of the Vampire. It's from a different Lugosi film, Return of the Ape Man. So why, I mean, you would think that's somebody at Scream Factory would kind of catch that. But they didn't. Are they going to do a replacement program for that? No. Of course not. They did put some effort into this release. They have 3 audio commentaries and a trailer and still gallery. So, I mean, I'm not saying these companies don't put any effort into them, but into their releases. But it seems like Kino and Scream Factory / Shout Factory, they are more catering towards people who just want the movie, and that's good enough. Whereas companies like 88 Films or Indicator, they are catering more towards people, almost Criterion levels of fans who want to know more about the production. They want to know the director's thoughts on the film. They want to see interviews with the actors. They want to see, they want to read essays on the film and kind of look at films from an analytical point of view. Whether that's from them being film buffs, they're interested in film history, or they're interested in filmmaking themselves. They kind of want to know about the production and the technical aspect of these movies and films from kind of an analytical point of view and a technical point of view. And that's what you're getting in these type of releases. I think that it's a much better investment myself, because these releases are not something that you just kind of put on a shelf and that's it. These releases are definitely there to be watched over and over. There's plenty of features on these that's kind of compared to their North American counterparts that are going to keep you busy for many, many nights, reading and learning about the film and everything like that. And again, it's for two different types of consumer. There's nothing wrong with either one. And if you love the film that much, you'll probably get both releases, especially if they each have kind of exclusive features. But these type of labels like Kino or Scream Factory, it's more like a fast food label. They just want to grab as many titles as possible, put a minimal amount of effort into it, throw it on a conveyor belt, and put it in the public, and that's it. They don't quality control. I mean, look at the ninth configuration typo. I mean, come on. They don't care. They're not going to put a replacement for that. It shouldn't have gone out in the first place like that. But they don't care that it has. All they care about is, great, you bought the disc, good enough, and they're going to move on to the next thing. Whereas companies like Indicator, 88, Imprint, they're going to put more finesse into something, almost like a gourmet meal. They're going to be putting all these intricacies into this release. They're going to make sure the booklet looks perfect and it's bound perfectly. They're going to put make sure that the cases. I mean, these cases feel amazing. I can't. It's hard to describe, but it feels really. It feels like almost gives it a sense of importance, or I can't really articulate it, but it makes it. I guess that would be it. It feels like it's a worthy investment. The trade-off is these are going to be more expensive than these, but at the same time, you kind of get what you pay for, and it depends entirely of why you want to collect. Is it just a consumer mentality of, okay, yeah, I'm just going to grab the film, I'll watch it once, throw it on the shelf, and that's it? Or are you actually going to want to know more about the production and want to know more about kind of the whole process of this stuff? And are you collecting because you want to know more about film history, and you actually have books on film history, and you want to know, you have actors and directors' autobiographies? It all depends on the type of consumer you are. Releases like another release from Kino, the Sabata films, they're all released on separate discs, and I think the most they have is a trailer. I don't think they have anything else. Maybe a photo gallery. Compare that to the Eureka release, which has all 3 films on one set, plus a booklet, plus audio commentaries, plus interviews, plus a photo gallery, plus trailers. It's a better investment overall, and at least for me it is. And so that's why I will always kind of go for more features myself, and because I want to know more about these films. I want to know more about the production. I know some people kind of shrug that off, but it's like you don't know when the kind of the inspiration bug is going to bite you. Say, for example, you somehow get really into spaghetti westerns, and you're just suddenly just obsessed. You want to know more. There's fantastic books like Any Gun Can Play. You're going to go out and you're probably going to buy that book, but in terms of the releases, you want to know more than just a trailer. You want to know. You want to hear the audio commentary. You want to hear production notes. You want to hear the actors. You want to hear the director's thoughts on the film and essays about the film. And it's going to be a better investment in the long run if you have something like this that you can turn to for a reference point. What do you guys think? Are you the type of collector that you just want to grab something, watch it once, and then throw it away? A very kind of consumer fast food type mentality, or are you somebody that actually wants to sit down, listen to an audio commentary, or read a book with the production notes and everything like that, and kind of learn about the technical aspect of the production of the film, almost like a gourmet meal? It just depends on what kind of a collector you are. So let me know what your thoughts are, and again, keep giving me feedback, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.